Welcome to the Soul Archaeology podcast, a space for connection, resonance, witnessing, and learning. Together we'll harvest medicine from the spiral of life, sharing conversations with other embodied humans who have navigated their own initiations and found alignment with their true soul essence. With weekly astrology, energy updates, embodied conversation, and channeled teachings, this is a space for you to land and find resonance with the spiral of your own soul. Welcome back to Soul Archaeology. Wow. This is a day of such celebration and appreciation as Soul Archaeology turns 1. Its first anniversary, its first birthday, its official birth date, its birth chart is August 5th at 6:28 a.m. Pacific. So this episode is released on August 5th, and we're coming off of a big new moon in Leo, the start of Mercury Retrograde, and I just have so much love and appreciation in my heart for all of you, for every person that has tuned in over the last year, for those of you who have written me and expressed your appreciation and been along for the ride. It's truly such an honor to walk this path with you and to be in connection in this way. I had pushed back the launch of this podcast for well over a year, probably even longer when I'm going into the deeper layers around my soul's path and what I should be doing. But it was really a journey getting to this place, and I've been reflecting a lot on my own path and thinking back to 2017, 2018, when I could barely write a post on Instagram. And what's so interesting is around that time I had my Mars and Aries finally activated, and that's the space when my awakening really started taking hold in a more profound way and deeply transforming my life. And it's when I started writing more. It's when I started doing some deep throat chakra work and just really uncovering what was there. What were my deeper thoughts about the world, about this lived experience, about my soul's path and my soul's journey? It's when I deepened more and more into my work and finding clarity around what medicine I wanted to bring to the world. Fast forward to a lot of life shifts and my move to Los Angeles, which I knew was my Mercury line, and I wasn't aware how literal that would become. How literally that energy would manifest in my life. I moved to LA in early 2020, end of 2019, early 2020, and started a podcast in May of 2020 with my dear friend Jess. And that really was such a deep healing for my throat, for my expression, for the medicine I really wanted to share, and cracking open that fear of being judged, the fear of being seen, the fear of being heard. And it really created and paved the path that I'm on now of Soul Archaeology and this incredible community that's building. So I'm so grateful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being open to the messages that come through this channel, for your own dedication to your own spiral path. It's really the reason I created this podcast, was to share the spiral path, to share the path that our soul travels within this lived experience and the beauty of the nonlinear way of living, inviting in other nonlinear beings and creating a collective of nonlinear beings. So thank you for being here. I know many of you and have connected with many of you, but I think there are many that I haven't. So if we've not connected, I encourage you to just send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to really start learning more about this community and who's here. I know my numbers are pretty steady every week, so it's obvious that for the most part, the same people are tuning in. So if we haven't connected before, I would love to. Just feel free to send me an email or send me an Instagram DM. I would just really love to hear more about you and how this channel really aligns with you. I'm also doing a giveaway for this anniversary, and it just felt appropriate being within this Lionsgate portal, being within this season of light, of illumination, of Venusian magic, to really open this space for more reciprocity and giving back in a way that I've been wanting to for the last year. I am partnering with my dear friends at Pound Jewelry, who have created the most stunning, magnetic, and powerful talisman for Soul Archaeology, the Ammonite necklace that you can find on my Instagram stories. I'll also be creating a reel, but it is just everything I could ever have wished and hoped for in a talisman for this podcast. They created the most beautiful ammonite necklace, and ammonite is actually a fossil. This is a rainbow ammonite, and it's over 66 million years old. So for me, it really represents evolution. It represents transformation, change, the spiraling process of this lived experience, transformation, growth. It reminds us of the nonlinear nature of this lived experience, and it's rainbow, which is illumination, light. It's paired with an Ethiopian opal and aquamarine. So it's such a stunning piece. It's so beautiful. I would love one for myself as well. We could be twins if they end up making another one, but this is just a very special, one-of-a-kind piece. And I'm also, with this piece, offering a free one-on-one session and a package of intuitively selected goodies that I really cherish and love from brands that I really cherish and love. So this is a really powerful giveaway. And in order to be entered into the giveaway, all you need to do is share an episode of Soul Archaeology on social media, rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes and Spotify. Screenshot that and send it to me. Follow Soul Archaeology, Ali Ofstedal, and Pound Jewelry on Instagram. For those of you that have already rated, reviewed, done all of the things, if you just want to share an episode on social media and just let me know, send a screenshot of your existing review, I will enter you in as well. I am so deeply grateful for all of you for being here and can't wait to see who wins this giveaway. And speaking of stones and clarity and luminescence and light, illumination, awakening, this is a pretty powerful week. We are coming out of a very potent new moon in Leo, which was so needed in this season of such deep excavation work. It's the spark of life. It's the reminder that new beginnings are always available. It is an encouragement to seek your inner light, your inner illumination, your joy, your pleasure. The theme of this week is distillation. The rest of August is quite potent. We have some squares happening mid-August, a T-square happening between Mars, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn, August 13th through the 20th. And there's so much available for us to work with, to be with. This is a deeply revealing time. And this week really starts with the new moon in Leo, but then quickly moves into Mercury's retrograde journey through Virgo and Leo. And Mercury is an inner planet. It rules some of the most basic functioning in our lives: communication, technology, travel. Many of our daily activities are the things that we notice in our daily life. we're already held within a pretty heavy retrograde period. Some of the outer planets, Saturn, Neptune, Chiron, which is not a planet but an asteroid, and Pluto are already retrograding. And now the inner planet, Mercury, is joining the mix. And this is interesting because it takes some of these themes, these more zoomed out life themes that the outer planets often focus on, and provides some clarity or some focus in our day-to-day lives. It narrows the focus. It allows us to concentrate on the here and now and where we are, what we're experiencing on the daily. When a planet goes retrograde, it is seen to be entering its underworld. And this is a very revealing space. The underworld is where we access our fragmented parts. It's where we find so much of the wisdom that we're seeking. It's the unconscious. So much surfaces when we're in the underworld. We have access to what we typically cannot see, and things look differently here. There's an intimacy with self, with our programs, our patterns, the inner workings of our lives, really what's held within our subconscious. Therefore, it also brings such a potent opportunity for understanding and therefore transformation. The underworld really holds our past. It holds the keys to our healing, our expansion. We know the journey of the goddess relies on the underworld to integrate, to become more whole, more aware of her parts. And so the retrograde journey of a planet really allows us an opportunity to find more wholeness, to understand more deeply what's occurring within our lives, where these patterns are held within our subconscious, and really how we can create more unity, more oneness. It's really a glimpse into our own underworld. I always picture retrogrades as a creek or a river that begins to slow down. The current slows, and we can see all the way to the bottom. We can see what's beneath the surface of the current. We can see the rocks, the stones, the creatures living on the bottom. So I'd like to help you reframe retrograde periods a little bit. I tend to find them deeply helpful, although at times uncomfortable. I was born during some retrogrades in my own chart, so I find them to be oftentimes more clarifying, more clear, more helpful, more comfortable than when a planet is direct. And although Mercury retrogrades in particular can be frustrating, annoying, even at times, it can affect the 3D in a way that's frustrating. It messes with time, it messes with technology, it messes with so much of the workings of our daily lives, what we really rely on in the 3D realm in order to function, in order to move through seamlessly. But what it is really an opportunity to slow down, to sit with the discomfort, to look at where we're gripping to the way things are, because that so often prevents us from accessing the potential of what could be. When we're so focused on gripping to the familiar, to the way things are, there's programs installed within us oftentimes that say change is bad, change is a sign of danger, of threat. But when we're gripping to the familiar, when we're gripping to the way things always have been, it prevents us from accessing the expansion, the potential of what could be. So retrogrades really offer an opportunity to look at the potential for change, to see how things could be. Because we really don't know what that is unless it's presented to us. unless things are slowed down, unless the pattern is interrupted, which is a lot of what retrograde energy does, is it interrupts the flow. It interrupts the patterning. It interrupts the program so that we can see what's possible and potential outside of the way things have been. This Mercury retrograde in particular begins in Virgo and travels back into Leo. Mercury will be retrograde from August 4th through August 28th, when it goes direct and completes its shadow period through September 11th. So there is a lot of Virgo energy that we're beginning to visit. Mercury is typically quite happy in Virgo. It's clear, direct, communicative. Virgo is health and healing. It's fertility, purity, refinement, self-refinement. Virgo really distills to find truth. She distills to find purity and simplicity. She cuts through. She's clarity like a diamond. She teaches us the importance of being in this physical form, the beauty of it, the sacred nature of being embodied. And she teaches us that we're not here to transcend the physical, but rather tend to it, to see it as sacred, to tend to it in a way that's loving and kind, to see it as something not to transcend, but to honor, to deepen into, clearing our channels so that we may find more peace, more liberation, more light, and more love within this lived experience. Virgo rules the sixth house of health, of daily activities. She really asks for us to audit our lives, to look at where we are remaining unconsciously hooked into patterns and behaviors that are no longer serving. And with Mercury beginning its retrograde journey through Virgo at 4 degrees, it's going to highlight the shadow aspects of this transit, of any planets or placements that you have in Virgo around 4 degrees, in Pisces, Gemini, or Sagittarius at 4 degrees, and reveal where we are seeking control, perfectionism, where we need to surrender more, or where we're too surrendered, where we need more discipline, more clarity, focus, devotion. When I think of Virgo, I think of devotion. I think of the devotion to the physical, devotion to the practical things we need in order to feel good. I think of health. I think of food, habits, and patterns that honor this physical experience. If we want to be high vibrational beings, we need to consume high vibrational content, whether that be content in the form of food and drinks, people, relationships, or what we're consuming on the internet, what we're consuming in our daily lives, what we're listening to, what we're watching, what we're reading. This Mercury retrograde is a time to audit what we're consuming, what we're pulling through our channel, our sacred vessel, focusing on what we can control, what we consume, how we treat our bodies, how we treat our minds, how we honor ourselves as frequency beings. Virgo loves clarity. It loves direction. It loves focus. What is excess in your life? What is over the top? Where are there inefficiencies? Where are you going with the flow rather than accessing your clear yes or no? We're doing an audit of our daily lives, of our relationships. We have Venus entering Virgo on the 4th as well. Mercury in retrograde will meet with Venus in Virgo on August 7th, bringing our relationships into the audit. I have personally a Venus and Virgo natal placement, and it is an interesting one. It's something I'm always having to work with. It is perfectionism. It is, in its shadow, of course, an obsession with growth and transformation, and always distilling things down to the truth, distilling things down and purifying. It can be quite a lot, but it's also so helpful. It can really help you with discernment, clarity, cleansing. Once again, finding habits and patterns that are supportive. Virgo is the Virgin because she really does seek purity and clarity. So this energy can be so supportive in distillation, in clarification, illuminating what is and isn't working, how you can refine, how you can clear more space. I think of crystalline. I think of the diamond when I think of Virgo. If you know Virgos, they're oftentimes very clear about how they feel, what they want. They might have strong opinions about you and what you need. I love Virgos. And this energy is really here to support us. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't have the traditional, quote unquote, Mercury Retrograde chaos. I'll be traveling through Europe this month, so I chose a really wonderful time to do overseas travel, but I'm seeing it as a huge opportunity to dig deeper, to build more resilience, to find more clarity, of course, but also to really exercise my deep desire for surrender. I not only have a Venus in Virgo, I also have a South Node in Virgo and a North Node in Pisces. And so it's a very illuminating time for me. And I was on the water this weekend. I was just reminded how happy I am when there is flow. When I'm on the water, when I can feel the ebb and flow of the currents, when I'm carried and held within that space, when I'm with the marine life, the animals, the creatures, the mystery of the ocean. When I feel the gripping in my body, I know I'm leaning back into my shadow Virgo. And this is a really illuminating period of time because this is in many ways a glimpse into, or a gateway into, the energy we'll be working with over the next 2 years when the nodes shift into Virgo and Pisces in January. We will be navigating Virgo and Pisces themes. So this is an opportunity for you to see where that's highlighted in your chart, what house it lands in, and what themes are coming forward around control, clarity, discipline, discernment, surrender, flow. We're doing an audit, a deep dive, retrieving, reviewing, releasing. We are in the underworld of Virgo consciousness. So with the theme of distillation, illumination, clarification, and refinement, doing the deep work within the underworld. We also have the Lion's Gate, which is highly active right now too. So there's so much light entering the planet. There's so much illumination. This is a very bright, illuminating time. We celebrate Lion's Gate on 8/8 every year when the sun is halfway through the constellation of Leo. But it's really open weeks before and after that. And this is a time when Sirius, one of the brightest stars in the sky, and our spiritual sun aligns with our sun, activating our consciousness not only on this physical plane, but within our energy body. And with this extra light, this deeply illuminating time, it highlights our density, where we're gripping, where we're holding stuck or stored emotions, where the spaces within us that we need to transcend, we need to transform and turn to light. This portal is deeply connected to ancient Egypt, who honored Sirius as the spiritual sun, as a symbol of awakening, enlightenment, higher consciousness. This time is when the ancient Egyptians celebrated their new year, when the Nile would flood. It brought forth fertility, transformation, death and rebirth, abundance. And the more modern selection of 8/8 as the day that we celebrate Lionsgate is really connected to the number 8, of course, and the fact that the sun is halfway through Leo. 8 is the number of transformation. It's death and rebirth, infinity, enlightenment. 2024 is also an 8 year, so this is 888, making it a significant time to manifest, to utilize the information and the data that's being highlighted to clear space for what you seek. Using all this energy of Virgo to clear space. Where do you need more space? Either within your mind, within your life, who's in your space, what is in your space, and welcoming in this excess light to create new opportunities, new dreams, manifestations, to illuminate what's left and what wants to be. The number 8 is associated with the 8th house in astrology, which is the house of Scorpio, transformation, death, rebirth, outside gifts from others. So Lionsgate is really an invitation to receive. I was so blown away because I pulled the Sun card from the Untamed Elemental deck, which I love so much. It was so on point and so perfect for this messaging today. We are, of course, in the solar time. The Sun rules Leo. And the Sun card in the Untamed Elemental deck is all about divine service. It says, as a star at the center of our solar system, a fiery traveler of timeless confidence and force, Sun unifies the planets through gravity and light. Illuminating and supreme, he devours the shadows. His circulating heat is all-powerful and offers the understanding that to honor the divine within and all around us, we must all serve. Sun reveals that by giving undivided attention to your inner luminosity, you free it to shine outward, illuminating the way for others. This is the way of life. We evolve to serve. Just as Sun's light serves all life on earth, your light serves all whom you know. Continue to invigorate your inner light so that you become a pharos of clarity and wisdom. This is not a purely selfless path. As you offer your service, its radiating warmth is reflected back by all who benefit, and you are remunerated in multiples. When it's balanced, you're serving from a place of wholeness. When it's imbalanced, there's selfishness, self-serving attitudes, and self-sacrifice. To bring into balance, develop the art of gracefully receiving, to instill the felt sense of what it's like to accept from others openly, and then give in return. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you. I hope that this episode lands. Take what resonates, release what does not. Open your heart to feel what wants to be experienced and witnessed this month. I'm sending you all so much love. Happy August, and see you next week.